All right, thank you, candidates. The next prepared question is, how does the new council reform affect your role as president and council at large for the next year? And we will go Kiran, Jordan, Luke.
So the new council structure changes council in a lot of ways. The first biggest impact is the size of council decreases, which means we have less councillors, but at the same time we have equal representation for each science student. This also affects our committees directly because we now have less of a pool to draw from for our committees. So as most of you might already know, councillors are required to sit on 2 committees. So the way that I envision getting more students involved in SAS is getting more students in on these committees. Now that we have less councillors on committees, we need more people to come to step up from the general science community to sit on these committees, as well as invite the clubs to get involved with the committees. Now, many of you guys may know this already, but the committees really are the functioning arm of council, and that's where we make our decisions, and that's where most of the work gets done. So I really want to encourage more people to get involved with committees and really strengthen the committees. And I think that this will really affect my role as president because as a president, you are the spokesperson for the society, and you have to go out and speak.
Okay, so I think with the nature of the council reform changes, this will make council more effective, faster. It means that we'll be able to run more things that we weren't able to before just because of the large amount of misrepresentation that was in council before. And as a result, we will be able to integrate a lot more students into the science of the graduate society and also create events and new programs for more students simply because we have a more efficient and more representative council. I know what I would also like to see, especially with the new program representative position, is a very strong communication with that program representative with the students in that program, and have those students primarily turn to that program representative when they want something to be done in council.
Well, unlike Jordan and Kiran, I believe that the council reform is not a good idea. Sure, it will be more efficient because there are fewer people. However, I believe that by taking away the club reps vote, the council becomes less capable of representing the entire faculty of science. And I believe giving club reps back involved would allow all the undergraduate societies under SAS to represent it fairly. Having simply 1 or 2 representatives for each program is just not enough. You need a club rep in there as well.
All right, thank you, and we'll take a question from the audience. So just introduce yourself and you can ask a question.
Hi, my name is Sean. My question is, could each of you please describe why you think your opponents are better suited for this position than yourself?
All right, well, we'll start with Jordan, Luke, and Kiran.
That's a really good question, actually. I love it. Okay, well, clearly every person has their own set of skills, and yes, I'd love to turn to the 2 other candidates for presidents here. Luke, very well. He has a very strong vision for the society. I respect that entirely. He has a strong heart for science, and he feels that he knows what he has to do to lead the society to a new era, essentially. Kiran, Director of Administration. There has been no better Director of Administration since I've been at UBC. She is incredibly organized, very proficient at what she does, and for those reasons, she would also be a good president.
house extracurricular. He would make it a better studying place, I guess. And he has experience with SUS. He's been working extensively with SUS for 3 years now, and he is very experienced. Kiran, she's very experienced too. She's got a lot of professional connections, and she has a great vision for how professional development should work for science students.
First, thank you to the candidates for those amazing compliments. I really appreciate them from colleagues. And also just want to note that when the question was asked, everyone worked up. So good questions, Sean. Just to echo what Jordan said, Luke, you definitely bring a lot of passion to this role. I think that you bring a new perspective. I think something that SAS could use is getting more students involved who haven't been involved before to bring a new perspective. I think that would prove to be a really big advantage for the society. Jordan, I had the pleasure of working with you last year. You brought so many new innovative projects to the portfolio of the Director of Sports. I think you've done an amazing job. And you have amazing experience, amazing skills, and I think that you would do a great job in this role.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean, for that very good question. And so, moving on, next question will be, which exec race are you most excited about watching and why? And we'll start with Luke and go Kiran and Jordan. Sorry. Oh, which executive race, aside from your own, are you most interested in and why?
I would say I'm very interested in the role of social coordinator and VP external. The social coordinator organizes events with the help of the committee, and one of the main platforms for my campaign is to have better social events, and for this reason I'll be working extensively with the social coordinator to make events better and bigger. Now, VP External handles Frosh, and that is something that really needs to be reworked. One of the candidates, at least, has a similar vision as to how Frosh should work. Should have a bigger Frosh that can accommodate more people.
So just to clarify, it was which executive race you're most interested in the result of? I would say that I'm really interested to see the results of all the executive races. And I know this is not only top of the question, but we have amazing candidates in all of the different positions, and they all bring very different skills and experiences to the society. And regardless of how the races go, I'm really excited to see the new dynamic of the executive team. I'm really excited to see how we work together and continue to move the society forward. I think every candidate has done an amazing campaign and have really worked hard to show students why they deserve the positions. And I'm really excited to see what science students decide and who science students decide are the best people for the position. And regardless, I'm really excited to work with all of the candidates in the future.
I'm most excited to watch the VP internal race right now. That's involving Mona and Sean. Both of these candidates are in my sports committee, so I've had, over the past year, I've had a great opportunity to work with both of them, and they're both awesome people, awesome candidates. They both get their jobs done very well. And the internal position, especially for both of these candidates, they have really great knowledge of us, and that's the basis of the VP internal's position, is to be able to communicate within your science undergraduate society and build strong relations and great goals for the future. Thanks, guys.
All right. Do we have time for one more question, or are we going straight to closing? One more. Okay. So we've got a question from the audience.
Hello, my name is Gary, and I'm a student who happens to be running for director. So my question is, I know that some of the presented candidates have mentioned policies. For those that did, could you elaborate a bit on how this would be achieved?
So we'll start with Luke, Jordan, and Kiran, and we'll work backwards.
The major change I would like to have in LADA is to open up this place for evening access and weekend access. This would be achieved by volunteers who are willing to run this place, or by having clubs here, science clubs. For example, the Physics Society can run the building for one night, and the Computer Science Student Society can run it for another night, and so on. This would work because the club rep would be held accountable for any problems that may or may not occur. Ideally, nothing bad happens to the building. And this would make it a lot more convenient for students in the Faculty of Science.
Gary, can I ask you a quick question? So are you asking about changes to the building management commission or just the building itself?
The building itself.
Okay. Well, there are a number of changes I also outlined along my platform. What we've been working for this past year as an exec team is actually getting new furniture within society or in the Lava Center. As you see around me, this furniture has been new for quite a long time, and you can probably see in the video that it's kind of falling apart. So, first of all, we do need new furniture. We do need a more efficient use of space within the Lava Center so that it can be used more easily for studying and student groups, and furniture can be more movable for when different events are going on. And I'd also like to implement lots of other strategies like public computers and further resources like that.
Thank you for your question, Gary. Just to reiterate what Jordan said, we've been working on a lot of improvements for the building. The building does want to incorporate the drive-to admin. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time to commit towards building improvements this year in that building specifically, because the code committee was a lot more active this year than it has been in previous years. So I'd really like to see the next director of administration take more of a leadership role in the building and work towards bringing those improvements that Jordan mentioned, elements that you might see fit, as well as consulting students to find out what they want out of this building. In terms of how we can achieve it, I think that the onus is not just on SAS and science students to improve this building, it's also on the alumni and the faculty as well to help support us in bringing about these improvements to the building. We don't have a lot of funding to put towards this, but I think that we can seek external funding to accomplish this because SAS is a really strong force, and we do have a lot of resources we can use to achieve that funding. It's just a matter of having those talks and getting the collaboration going.